Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of the Garage Drum Builder. In the last episode we talked about some tools for drum building, but the tricky part of drum building is that you're always working with round objects. So to put those tools to use we need to make a couple jigs. But first, in this episode I'm going to teach you how to use a router with a straight edge to make parts for those jigs. Before building any drums, we need to make 2 jigs to help us deal with a round shell. We will make these jigs from a 1/4 sheet of 1/2 inch MDF. In this video, I'll show you how to separate the MDF into sections with nothing more than a straight edge, a router, and a combination square. Mount a straight bit into your router and put a piece of tape on one side of the base plate. Turn the cutter of the router bit so it is pointed at that edge. Measure from the tip of the cutter to the edge of the router base to find the offset of this bit. Mark this measurement on the tape. The offset for my router is 1 5/8 inches, so that's what we'll use for the rest of the example. We want to use the router to cut the MDF to a width of 24 inches. This means we need to subtract 1 5/8 inches to find the location of our router guide. So, to end up with a piece 24 inches wide, we need to make a mark at 22 3/8 inches. Place a straight edge on that mark and use a combination square to align it with the edge of the board. Clamp the straight edge to the MDF and you're ready to start cutting. Make sure to move the router from left to right along the guide to avoid kickback. Cutting to the full depth all at once is hard on the motor of your router. Instead, make multiple light passes, starting with the bit set for an 1/8 inch cut and progressing another 1/8 inch with each pass. On the last pass, leave a small sliver of material so that you don't route a groove into whatever table you're using to support your work. Separate the piece and sand the edges smooth. You now have a dimension board with nice straight edges. Alright, I hope I've shown you that you don't need an extra tool or some kind of expensive saw to make your own parts. But if you have a table saw, go ahead and use it, and if not, I think you'll find that you can get an awful lot of work done with just these tools. So, if you have any questions or comments about this episode, go ahead and send me an email at dustin@thegaragedrumbuilder.com. Thanks for watching.